Hello there, this is Yanis Makula for Spellbinders Creative Arts, and thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'll show you how to create an elegant layered holiday card using several dies from Spellbinders. I'll be working with Jolly Holly dies from the Die Delights collection, Label 46 Decorative Accents dies, as well as scalloped Label 46 dies. I'm going to begin by die cutting the holly leaves by using dies from the Jolly Holly set. Instead of using green cardstock like I usually do, I decided to use pattern paper with a very subtle green print, so that my leaves would have some additional texture. I'm going to cut them and also emboss them in my Platinum die cutting and embossing machine. To cut, place your base platform, bottom clear cutting plate, your paper and your die facing cutting edge down, cover with another cutting plate and send through the machine to cut. To emboss these, use Embossing Sandwich. So place the die with the die cut still inside onto a base platform, make sure your die faces cutting edge up, cover with a brown embossing mat and blue embossing plate and send through the machine to emboss. I'm going to need 2 sets of leaves for my card, so I'll go ahead and die cut and also emboss this twice. To die cut the berries for my card, I'm going to use gold foil cardstock. And these are such small pieces, you can go ahead and use a little leftover bits of paper you might have laying around. I'm going to cut and also emboss these in my machine. I also want to die cut a few additional elements for this project, and here I have a stunning Labels 46 decorative accent die, as well as a bigger sheet of that gold foil paper. I'm going to tape my die in place with some washi tape, and will also add the other dies from this set inside this die so that I can die cut them all at once. So again, I'm cutting and also embossing these elements. I'm going to use my tool-in-one and will pop these out of the dies. And I really love the way they turned out, and that gold paper always adds a sparkle to just about any die cut. I die cut and embossed one additional Labels 46 die, the largest die, so that I could layer the two together and create sort of a large gold wreath for my project. One last piece I'll need to die cut is a scalloped Labels 46 die. For this piece, I'm going to use some pattern paper with, again, very subtle print. I'll be heat embossing my sentiment onto this die cut, so I made sure to pick out the kind of paper that would not overpower my sentiment. Now let's go back to the leaves. I'm going to use Distress Mica Spray and will add a generous amount of shimmer to my leaves. I want these to shine and sparkle on my finished project. Next, I'm going to use my heat tool and will quickly dry these. You can also let them air dry. And now it's time to put our card together. I'm going to layer the 2 largest Label 46 die cuts. I'm aligning them and using foam adhesive to adhere the two together. Now these foam adhesive squares will also be used to adhere this large wreath onto my card. The next layer, scalloped Label 46 with a heat embossed sentiment, is also going to be foam mounted to add dimension to this project. The sentiment here was heat embossed in gold embossing powder and reads, "Wishing you warm and wonderful blessings of Christmas." My next layer, a gold die cut, is going to be adhered using glue directly onto the scalloped die cut, framing the sentiment. I'm going to place a clear block over it to press it down, and we'll go ahead and work on my leaf cluster now. I'm using the smallest die cut from the Labels 46 Decorative Accent set as a placeholder for my leaves. I'm going to shape each leaf with my fingers, and we'll go ahead and arrange them the way I want by inserting the leaves into that gold die cut. Once again, I'm using foam adhesive to secure the pieces together. And I'm also adding the gold die cut berries on top. And now I can foam mount this onto my main die cut. To balance things out, I'm also adding an additional leaf cluster to the left top part of this card. To finish this project, I cut 2 panels out of pattern paper. I adhered them together and added machine stitching around the edges for a handmade look and feel. I'm going to go ahead and adhere these onto a top folding card base created out of cream cardstock that measures 6 by 6 inches. And finally, I'm going to foam mount my die cut cluster on top. I love the way this card turned out, especially that added shimmer on the leaves. Here's a closer look at this project featuring Spellbinders Jolly Holly dies. If you have any questions about this card, please leave them in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe to Spellbinders YouTube channel for more education and inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.